Okay, the next one is our good colleague from Zambia, Keddy Mbindo, and he's going to give us a bit of a run through of some of the background of developing the green economy of Zambia.
Thank you. And the beauty about speaking, when you speak last, you seem to be covered already. Okay. So I'm not going to go into the details because much of it has been already presented by colleagues. So, but we'll get the story from what we have on our what we are doing in terms of the abatement methodology opportunity that we have in Zambia. Is it? Do I have control here? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so there is my presentation. A colleague from Botswana was saying that he's confused, always gets confused with Zambia and Angola. So as you can see, Angola is to our left there. So I specifically had to make this so that I can remove that confusion. Angola is our neighbor on the western side. We have the DRC Congo up there, and Botswana is down there. We have Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, Tanzania. So it's a beautiful country surrounded by other countries. So that's the beauty about Zambia. There's something in that picture that you see talking about Zambia, the beauty of the waters, the forest, and the wildlife. So make a date to see them for yourself. So the surface area for Zambia is about 752,614 square kilometers, with a population of about 19 million. It's a well-forested country with over 60% forest cover, and it's the Miombo woodlands, which is a dominant vegetation type. The Miombo, which has been spoken already. Natasha talked a lot more about the Miombo, so I just continue the story now to narrow down to the Zambian perspective. So we acknowledge that deforestation is one of the issues that Zambia is trying to address. And let me just move this. Okay. And among the drivers, we definitely see fire as one of them. So fire story still continues to be important in this presentation as well. Cameroon already showed also the situation of the region here. So Zambia is part of this. We have a rich forest biodiversity, but definitely late dry season fires are evidently quite destructive in our ecosystems. Now, Zambia is played some very significant role in addressing climate change. Actually, Zambia is currently serving as the chair of the African Group of Negotiators for Climate Change. So we sit in a very good space to discuss such related projects like we are discussing right now. And even in our national documents, environment and natural resource management have been enshrined as very critical. So we've seen some significant steps towards biodiversity conservation in general and forest conservation management in particular in the last 10 years, with a lot of policy and legislation. So we have a good legislation and policy environment with regards to forest conservation management in particular, with all these number of pieces of legislation. I was once told by a senior scientist that if you want to take care of the environment, stop being a scientist, be a lawyer. So much of this is coming from our legal provisions. So you can see all these legal provisions and good policies that have been put in place to help us as scientists be able to have good conservation and management of our natural resources. Land use change and forestry is as continuing to re-echo what our colleagues have been showing in the previous presentations. Definitely, we have a lot of emissions coming from land use change and forestry, including fire there. So Zambia has an ambitious target of reducing emissions by 47% set for 2030. So definitely addressing the issue of late dry season fires will give us quite some significant opportunities to meet some of these targets, national targets that we have. Maybe quite important to our conversation here in terms of the policy environment, we have four important policy and legislation that can highlight here. The Forest Policy of 2014, Forest Act of 2015, Community Regulations 2018, Forest Carbon. Now, these are important legislations because they seem to contextualize the issue of carbon. The National Forest Policy of 2014 specifically addresses the issue of reducing deforestation and forest degradation. And forest fire is one of the issues that is causing forest degradation. So, and also quite interesting is the fact that our national policy also has provided for local community participation in forest management. I think this is also very important because we are seeing our communities, local communities being recognized as important partners in ensuring that the environment can be conserved, especially in the area of forest conservation. So this is our policy. And the Forest Act also recognizes carbon as a major forest produce. So this is also very important. Carbon is recognized as an important forest produce coming from our forests. So also this provides an important platform for carbon. Going further into the forest community management regulations that provide for communities now, giving them user rights to actually manage these forests. So, so carbon as a forest produce also with a lot of provision there for eligibility of projects that can be done in these kind of projects. So and you have this presentation, so you can see that even as late as early as 1930s, Zambia was looking at all these impacts of these forest fires. In terms of sequestration, we have an opportunity. We have permanent plots that have been set nationally, distributed, quite well distributed around the country, and this gives us an opportunity to also not only look at the abatement methodology that we already are working on, but also now to pioneer sequestration methodology. We have an opportunity there because of all these provisions that are there already. And we have been already conducting missions in terms of abatement. You can see the team there in the field, composed of government and the International Savannah Fire Management Initiative colleagues from Charles Darwin University. We're so grateful for the team and all that has been happening. I'm just here to represent the good works that they have been doing. So these science missions have been going on, and the methodologies as described by our colleagues already showing there, and we are now moving towards assessing potential sites, and we are looking at it approached in national context and also on a regional context. So we are picking now some sites that we would consider for piloting, both to address national interests and also regional interests. Quite critical is the issue of our priorities in terms of capacity at different levels, also capital to establish these pilot sites, and also the importance of developing forest monitoring and reporting system. And critical also is our partners, the stakeholders. So we are looking now at effectively engaging stakeholders who are government, communities, and the private sector. So I think this is what I had to share in terms of the opportunities that we have and what we can explore from the Zambian perspective and the region as a whole. Thank you.